Hi, this is Skywalker Film and Comics. I'm Skywalker616. This is my first video on the channel. For my first video, I'm going to be reviewing the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which, as of recording, came out 3 days ago now. And it's the first Star Wars movie in 7 years. Yeah, 7 years. It's crazy, considering that Disney was releasing a movie per year from 2015 to 2019. This review will have spoilers, but I will do a spoiler-free section and then I'll notify you when I'm going to go into spoilers. So, let's start. First of all, I think there is only really one word to perfectly describe this movie. And I know it's been thrown around a lot when reviewing this movie with like the earlier reviews and now the on-release reviews. But it is the perfect word to describe it. Fun. This movie is so much fun from beginning to end. It's just constantly a blast. I mean, it's a kids' film. Don't get me wrong. It's unlike the first Star Wars movies, like the original trilogy, which I would consider all ages movie. It's a kids' film. Mando and Grogu is a kids' film. But I don't think that's a bad thing. A lot of people have been reviewing it less for this, giving it lower ratings. I don't think that's bad. It's also certainly refreshing, considering that the last two Star Wars projects have been Andor Season 2 and More Shadow Lord, which are both really mature, gritty shows and projects. So I do think having this fun new Star Wars movie is kind of a relief, I guess. I think the movie is better than the entire of the Mandalorian show. That's probably a hot take. It is a hot take. But I do think it is. It's just such a blast, which I think a show can drag a bit at times, especially with what I would consider bland voice acting from Pedro Pascal at a lot of times. But in this movie, he's actually really good. It does make me really excited for the future of Star Wars, with in the next few years, we're going to get more Shadow Lord Season 2, which will obviously be great. We're getting Ahsoka Season 2 this year, which I really liked Ahsoka Season 1. I know a lot of people didn't, but I personally loved it. And I love Thrawn. Thrawn's like my second favourite Star Wars character. So I cannot wait for that. And Starfighter next year with Ryan Gosling. I think this just feels like we're getting into a new era for this franchise, and that really excites me, as Star Wars is my favourite franchise ever. If not my favourite thing ever, apart from, like, my family and stuff. So, before I get into spoilers, let me give my rating. I think this movie is an 8 out of 10. I think it's just amazing. Like, for a new Star Wars movie, it's great for, like, newcomers to a franchise as well. You don't need to know anything for this movie, although, and I know it's not really important to the franchise. Nothing happens in it. It's, like, groundbreaking, but it's great. I really liked it. So, into spoilers. First, I want to say, get Rotter the Hutt, you know, the little guy from Clone Wars, is now what I'm calling him, Jabba the Hulk. Jabba the Hulk is just a perfect name for him. Why is he so jacked? Like, this guy was like the little squirmy thing in the Clone Wars movie, and now he's this. He's like, oh, he's a Hulk. That's what I'm calling him. He's Jabba the Hulk. So as I do this review, I'll go through the movie and give my thoughts on each moment and stuff. I can start with the opening sequence. This is also another hot take, probably. Actually, no, I don't think it is. The opening sequence for this film is the best action we've got in Star Wars. Either since Acolyte Episode 5, but I need to rewatch that. And if I don't think that's as good as the opening sequence in this, then it will be the best action in Star Wars since the Last Jedi throne room sequence. Like, that opening sequence was so engaging, it was so fun, and it was just, all these kills were really creative, all this, like, fight scenes, like, him going off in the thing with all the bombs, and then, like, it was really funny with Grogu tapping on his helmet and stuff. I just really enjoyed that, and I was with my best friend and my brother and my dad, so that was like kind of a good experience. And we were all like laughing the whole time in that just like first opening 5 to 10 minutes. I can't really remember how long it was, but the opening sequence is some of the best action we've got in the franchise in ages, and it was so fun. So then obviously we go through the movie, we get to like the New Republic base with Zeb and stuff. I do think Zeb's a bit underused in this movie, but I don't really care that much about it. But then they go and the commander tells Mando to go to the Hutts, and the Hutts say, if you rescue Rotta for us, then we will give you where Janu Coin is, who's like this mysterious ex-Imperial leader. So, and Mando goes to, I can't remember the planet name. If you follow this channel and stuff, you'll find that I do not remember names for a lot of stuff. But they go to like this planet, and we get Martin Scorsese monkey guy with 4 arms. That was fun. But then we go to the arena, and the arena, like everything in the arena was peak, and it was like just constantly action and fighting, and it was amazing. I can't tell you how much I love the action in this movie. The action in this film is really, really, really good. But and like this arena sequence with all like the animals surrounding them, it's like all these exotic aliens you haven't seen in Star Wars before. It's just really cool. And we go into like a chase sequence as Rotta's trying to escape Mando because he doesn't want to go back to the Hutt twins, which is fair enough on Rotta's part after we see what happens to him later in the movie. But Mando tries to take him anyway, but that's before Rotta tells him that Lord Janu, who was like the kidnapper of Rotta, is actually Lord Janu Coin, which is who Mando was going after in the first place, and there's no point to return Rotta to the Hutt. He can just let Rotta live and go find Janu Coin himself, which is exactly what Mando does, but then he gets a bit told off. He's like, oh no, you shouldn't have done that. Later, by the commander woman, who's a bum by the way, just don't like her. Janu Coin's a mid-villain, but he isn't really in the movie that much. The twins, however, who we'll talk about in a sec, are really, really cool. And, they're a good, cool villain for the movie, and I really liked them. But who is even better? This is a standout of the movie for me. I don't remember his name, again, but the Mortal Kombat style hunter, like the bounty hunter, sick as hell. He's just like with his hat and his dog, and then they kidnap Mando and they fly off and stuff. All that shit is amazing. Like, I cannot stress enough how cool of a bounty hunter he is, and like the mystery surrounding him is just so interesting. And my dad told me after the movie, he was like, oh, that it was alright, it feels like a loose end. I don't think it was a loose end. I think I like it being kept mysterious. I want to never see him again. I just want him to come into this and we never see him again. Next I'm gonna talk, oh yeah, and then Mando goes there, he gets like captured by the twins, and then like he falls into like this pit with the water monster thing again. I don't remember the name, sorry guys. But this water monster thing, there's one problem I had with the film. It's a bit cliche. How many times have we seen a big water monster in Star Wars? Quite a few. I mean, it's cool, but it's just, that's probably like the least interesting part of the film for me. But then the poison thing. Mando gets poisoned, and Grogu has to make a choice. Does he go home to safety with like the little engineer guys, or does he stay with Mando? And obviously he chooses to stay with Mando. He's got his little Mandalorian emblem on him, and he's alone while he's protecting Mando. And I really like this bit because it just shows how cool of a character Grogu can be when he's being independent, and it really makes me want to see him when he's older. I want to have like a movie set like 100 or so years in the future. Like, once we get past like all the storytelling in between, once we get past the sequel era and go into future movies for Star Wars, I do want to see Grogu quite a few times because I think he could be a really cool character, like a Yoda style Mandalorian Jedi. It's such a cool idea. Like, it's just really cool. I know if he's cool a lot. I don't have a big vocabulary when it comes to this stuff, but he's cool. I'm sorry, Grogu's a cool guy. He's chill as well. Yeah, Grogu on his own was the best part of the movie, especially after being the worst part of the movie. It's really fun. It just made me forget about the whole water monster thing. And then he's like stealing a fish and stuff, and he's building a little hut for Mando. It's really fun. And once Mando eventually wakes up, they go to the ship where the Mortal Kombat Hunter was on, and and Mando says to Grogu, and this is a standout line from the film that I actually remember. Yeah, I remember lines, guys. Isn't that crazy? Especially because I can't remember names. He says, "Do we run or do we fight?" Very simple line, but it is memorable to me. I'm not really sure why, but it is. And obviously they choose to fight. If they ran, that would have been such a boring movie. It's like, oh, we ran away and then it ends there. But then we go, so they get in this ship and they crash straight into the building, the Hut Palace, with the Twin Hut Palace. And we see like all the like Hut army, I guess, like all their like guards. They're like chasing after Mando, and then he gets to like the palace like room where the twins are, and like where Rotter is being tortured. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. And when the Rotter was fighting the twins, that was the funniest thing ever. It's just like green CGI slot fighting each other. It's just, I mean, it was bad, but I don't really care because it was so funny, and I was just laughing the whole time. Yeah. And the climax of the film, like, the New Republic comes and they blow up the palace. They blow up the palace, and then Mando and Grogu and Rotter all escape into the water. Yeah, it's cool, it's fine. So we see that, and then it ends with, like, Rotter is joining the New Republic. And, yeah, it's all of that. It's cool. I liked the end. So, just a few other notes I had. I said this on my Letterboxd review because I don't want to actually review it. I laughed out loud, like, really, really hard when I saw Filoni. If you didn't catch that, Dave Filoni is the co-writer of this movie and, like, the rest of Mandalorian, and he does a lot of the animation. He does most of the animation for Star Wars, like, he writes all of it. And he appeared in the movie as the coolest fucking name in the history of Star Wars. Of course he chose this for himself. Trapper Wolf. Like, what a cool name for him to choose. Yeah, I've just realised I've said cool a lot. But it's cool. Ludwig Göransson, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I think he might be my favourite movie composer. Like, not only has he done this and The Mandalorian and stuff, Tenet and Oppenheimer are like two of my favourite scores of all time. He's just amazing. And the fact that he's already got more Oscars than John Williams. I'm not saying that John Williams didn't deserve more Oscars. He definitely deserved more Oscars than he got. But this guy already has more Oscars than John Williams. And he's probably going to get more than Hans Zimmer. I don't know how much Hans Zimmer has. One other complaint I have for the movie, though. It doesn't look very good. Like, it's not visually appealing. All, like, the room... all the rooms and the planets and stuff, apart from, like, the New Republic planet, they're all dark and brown. It doesn't look very visually appealing. That definitely takes my score down a bit. So, yeah, my final score for this movie, as I said earlier, is an 8 out of 10. Maybe on rewatch it could go lower or higher. I don't really know. The general consensus on this is that it's a bit lower because it's like a kids' movie and it's not really important. Like the plot doesn't actually affect us, but I don't mind that. I think it's just a refreshing movie for the franchise. Yeah, bye. Make sure to follow my channel, Skywalker Film and Comics. Make sure to follow my letterbox, which is at Skywalker616, and make sure to follow my Comic Geeks, which is Skywalker Reads. I'll link them all in the description. Bye. See you later.